Today we are going to be making a delicious lasagna. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of 40ish Vibe Eats. So let's get it.
And I am just popping on here to say hello and welcoming everybody to the channel. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And share. Share.
Hopefully you guys are locked in and you have subscribed.
Right, so come with your bellies empty because your mouth is going to be definitely watering.
And let's get to it.
All right, guys, so today, like I said, we're going to be making a delicious lasagna. And of course, you know, lasagna, they are easy to make. They're delicious, especially if they're homemade. And so we're going to start off with some ground chuck beef and some Italian sausage. Now, for the people who don't like to eat pork, you can have 2 pounds of ground beef. So you don't have to use the ground sausage. Me personally, I like the flavor in Italian sausage and the mixture with the ground beef. So that's what we're gonna roll with. I like my lasagna a little chunky. So I also have a green bell pepper and an onion that I'm gonna chop up in my meat mixture. We have our Parmesan cheese. We have the noodles for the lasagna. For the seasonings, okay, this is optional. You can season your lasagna however that you want to season your lasagna. Me, this is what I like putting in my lasagna. A teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 2 bay leaves, some garlic powder, onion powder, some pepper, crushed red pepper flakes, some fennel seeds, some oregano, and some basil. And for the sauce, we have 2 Prego marinaras. We have some ricotta cheese that we're going to be using and some mozzarella cheese. Very good extra virgin olive oil, fresh parsley for the garnish. And we're also going to be using an egg to mix with the ricotta cheese. All right, guys, so for the first step, we are going to brown the Italian sausage and the ground beef. Okay, guys, don't worry. The recipe will be linked in the description box. All right, guys, so we fix to brown the meat. Okay, guys, so I have a pound of a mild Italian sausage and a pound of ground beef. But like I said, if you don't do pork, you can use 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm fixing to get my noodles boiling. Okay, guys, so we have our meat browning, our noodles boiling. So now we're fixing to chop up some onion and bell pepper to throw in with the meat. All right, guys, so now we are going to add the onion and bell pepper to the meat. And I like to chop my meat up kind of fine, so I'm going to do a little chopping on this ground beef and this Italian sausage to the texture that I like. Okay, so let's check on our noodles. You want to cook your noodles until they get to al dente, but you don't want it too hard or too soft. Not quite. I'm going to give them a few more minutes of boiling time, and we'll check back on them. All right, guys, so now I am going to add the Prego marinara to my meat sauce along with the seasonings. Okay, so now we're going to make the ricotta. What you need is ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, and 1 egg mixed together. So for the Parmesan, I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons. And now we're going to whisk together the ricotta cheese and the egg and the Parmesan. Now you could add seasoning to your ricotta cheese if you like. But me, I just like to keep it simple and basic, just with the egg, the ricotta cheese, and the Parmesan cheese. Because the meat itself is going to be nicely seasoned and delicious. So for me, I don't want to overpower anything. So I want to just keep it simple, balanced, seasoned, and we're good. All right, guys, so the meat mixture is finished. I've already taken out the 2 bay leaves. The noodles are finished. Don't mind how I have them. I put them like this to try to keep them straightened out somewhat. Okay, guys, so we are ready to assemble the lasagna. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a layer of meat mixture in the bottom of the pan. That'll keep the noodles from sticking to the dish. So right now, as you see, I'm putting a little layer of the meat on the bottom of the dish. Like I said, this will keep the noodles from sticking. All right, so now I'm gonna layer my noodles on top of the meat mixture. Okay, guys, so for the next step, I'm going to add a layer of mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese on top of my noodles. Now, guys, you can use any kind of cheese that you want, but I like using mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese for my lasagna. If you want to use different kind of cheeses for your lasagna, then be my guest. You can add as much cheese as you want, or you can add as little cheese as you want. It's up to you. It's optional. Like I said, lasagna is very easy to make and it's very interchangeable. Even if you don't like the sausage and the ground beef, you can also have turkey, chicken, any kind of meat that you like, or you can go meatless. You can have a vegetable lasagna. All of it is fantastic. Now I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese on top of my mozzarella cheese. Okay. And on top of that, now I'm going to add another layer of meat. And that's going to complete my first layer. Guys, I'm telling you, a homemade lasagna will taste better than a store-bought lasagna any day of the week. And the thing that I love is that you can customize it your way. You can add as much seasoning as you want, as little seasoning as you want. It's your way. So now we're going to add another layer of noodles. Okay, so now for this layer, I'm going to add the layer of ricotta cheese and Parmesan cheese to this layer. Now, some people like ricotta cheese on their lasagna and some people don't. It's up to you. You do not have to add ricotta cheese to your lasagna. Just want to spread that out over your lasagna. over your noodles. And the ricotta cheese gives it like a rich flavor to your dish. And like I said, it's optional. You can use any cheese that you want. Okay guys, now that I have the ricotta cheese on top of the noodles, I'm going to add another layer of Parmesan cheese. Now I usually use around 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese on each layer. Now I'm going to add another layer of the meat sauce, and this is going to complete this layer of the lasagna. Guys, when I tell you this is looking good, smelling good, trust me. It is smelling and looking delicious. Okay, I'm going to add my last layer of noodles. Guys, this lasagna is going to be off the chain. Now for this last layer, I'm just going to add a layer of meat and mozzarella cheese, and that's it. Guys, like I said, you can use as much or little cheese as you like. I like mine a little cheesy, especially the top part. So for the grand finale, we're just gonna add the cheese on top. Guys, it's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be delicious. Trust me, it's gonna be delicious. And like I said, the recipe is in the description. We're gonna add another layer of Parmesan cheese to the lasagna. Guys, when I tell you this lasagna is already smelling phenomenal, trust me, it is. So right now I'm gonna add some parsley for garnish. And this is just going to give that extra layer of pizzazz. Once again, it's optional. You don't have to, but for me, it's going on there. Okay, so now that the garnish, the parsley is on top of the lasagna, what we're going to do now is I'm going to put it into a preheated oven that I have set at 375. So it's going to go in there for 20 minutes with the foil on top. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a little trick for putting the foil on top of the cheese. Okay, guys, so here's the trick. So to keep the cheese from sticking to the foil, you can either use some cooking spray to spray the foil on the side that's going to go on top of the cheese, or you can have a little brush in your olive oil or any kind of, cooking oil and just rub it on the foil to keep your cheese from sticking to the foil. Damn. This is a little pro tip I picked up. So I'm just gonna dab a little on my foil, and I'm just gonna brush it on my foil. You don't need a lot, just enough to coat the foil on the side that's gonna be touching the cheese. Okay guys, so I'm gonna cover this with foil, and like I said, I'm gonna stick it in a preheated oven at 375. I'm gonna leave it in there for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm going to take the lasagna out, and I'm gonna uncover it. And I'm gonna stick it back in for about another 10 minutes so that cheese can get nice and brown and bubbly. Okay guys, so it's been 20 minutes and as you can see the lasagna is looking delicious. So now what we are going to do, we're going to put it back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes. Let that cheese just kind of, you know, get a little crisp to it, a little more darkness to it. Guys, we're going to be ready. Alright guys, as you've seen in the clip before, the lasagna is done and it is looking delicious. So what we're going to do now, because it is piping hot, we're going to let it cool down just for like a few minutes. Then we're going to dig into it and we're going to let you guys know how it tastes. Alright guys, so the lasagna has cooled down now. I'm going to take a bite of it and see how it tastes. Guys, this lasagna is good. The Italian sausage gives it a little spice, but not too much. The ricotta cheese is blended in just fine. Overall, this lasagna is amazing. Like I said, the ingredients into the lasagna is in the description below. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, and share to this channel because you are going to get more of these mouth-watering, delicious meals plus more. So stay tuned. Until then,